I did want to set aside a moment here to give you my thoughts on this Tebow thing before we move on to other matters, because I am fascinated by Tim as well. Now, you just heard Paul establish how close a relationship they have. He's been around him a million times for every one time I have. I don't know Tim well, but I have been around him. And I have said many times, I like him a lot. And the primary reason I like Tim Tebow a lot is that I believe he is intellectually sincere. And that goes a long way with me. A lot of people have opinions or positions on things that I disagree with. And if you are intellectually sincere, then I respect that. I don't begrudge an opinion I disagree with. That is closed-minded. I lose respect for people who I find to be phony, who I think they're taking positions based on the direction that the wind is blowing. Those are people for whom I have very little interest. Tim is not that guy at all. I've been around him enough to know he is the real deal. He is a devout person who believes what he believes unapologetically, and I have great respect for that. Whether we see the world the same way or not is irrelevant. There's billions of us on this planet. We all should have respect for others looking at things differently than we do. He has an intellectual integrity about him, an intellectual sincerity about him that I have always admired. And I am one of those who believe he didn't fully get a fair shake in the NFL. Because for all the things he didn't do in Denver, what he did do was win a bunch of games at quarterback. Then they got Peyton Manning, and he never got another chance. He just didn't. The Jets got him. They fattened him up like a Christmas goose. They tried to make him a personal punt protector, which isn't even a thing. And that was the end of his NFL career. So I understand him feeling as though there is a lack of closure, a lack of it being over. Now, the NFL doesn't owe him closure, and very few people get it in that sport. But as to the sports of it all, who knows? With him, that's never really been the story anyway. I will say as well that the Urban Meyer of it all is fascinating to me, because one of two things are true about Urban Meyer. Either he doesn't know or he doesn't care about the way people are going to react to the decisions he makes as an NFL coach. And I tie this back to when he hired that controversial strength coach at the very beginning of his tenure. And he either didn't know what the reaction was going to be or he didn't care. But they had to change course almost immediately, and that was a little bit of a disaster. If he doesn't know what the reaction is going to be to things he does, that's a problem. That's going to be a problem for him as an NFL coach. If he doesn't care, that I understand, because he comes from this collegiate background. And oh, by the way, he is as successful a college coach as has ever lived. He has the highest winning percentage of all coaches who debuted since World War II. That includes all of them. Bear Bryant and Joe Paterno and Nick Saban and anyone else. Urban Meyer's winning percentage is higher than any of them. And that's what will determine this. If he wins in the NFL, everything will be fine. He can do things that rub people the wrong way, upset them, whether it's his players, fans, media, it doesn't matter. Winning insulates you from everything. Winning, as they say, is the great deodorant. But winning isn't as easy. Well, I'm not going to say it's easy to win in college, but once you get things going in college, they start rolling. Yes, he just got Trevor Lawrence, but he's taken over a team that was 1-15. I think it is safe to say that Trevor Lawrence is going to lose more games in his first month in the NFL than he lost in his entire college and high school careers. And Urban in his first season will lose as many games as he is accustomed to losing in a decade in college. So how all those things are handled is ultimately going to determine how that goes. So again, I'm a talk show host. As I always say, that puts me in the interesting business. I find this an endlessly interesting story. Tebow, Urban, all of it. I, for one, cannot wait to see how the whole thing plays out.